this segment might be just for myself, like when I'm older in the future to watch back on. Part of my crash out was about a guy. I'm sorry. I'm just a girl, and unfortunately, I'm affected by heterosexuality. I'm affected by liking men. It's a blessing and a curse. There's so many beautiful men out there, but also it's so stressful. Anyway, I spoke about him in a previous video. I don't know if I actually will have edited that part out, but basically, I had an amazing first date with him. We're like, it felt like a good vibe, but then things just stopped working. And when we tried to like arrange to see each other again, it just like felt, it didn't feel like it was flowing. It felt very difficult. It felt like we were always like something was misaligned. I was showing interest at the start, but then I was like very wary of like being hurt, so I was trying to like be a little bit more nonchalant. I don't know if that came across. Maybe he's like, this girl is very chalant. I don't know. I feel like dating is this whole like mess sometimes, especially in your early 20s. That really feels like that's how I feel. That I feel so deeply in that like space right now. As like a 21-year-old, I'm like, what do I want? What do you want? I don't know what we both want. It's really hard, and navigating that is just difficult. And it feels like sometimes like you're wading through a swamp. Shrek swamp. Donkey. Okay, shut up, Nicole. Anyway, it just left in like a little bit of a weird place where he asked to see me, but I told him I'm busy. Didn't really follow up, even though I was interested in seeing him, but I was playing the nonchalant game, not even intentionally. I just genuinely was quite busy. My life is very hectic here, but I probably like, I don't know, I usually like it when people show a little bit more interest. And being shut down probably isn't quite like just being shut down without an alternative, maybe feels a little bit shitty. But then he wasn't acting like in a way that made me feel good either. So I was like, I feel like I don't owe you being nice, right? Like, I don't owe you the extra niceness. Like, a week later, he hits me up with the "what you doing tonight" text, and I'm like, oof, is this a fuck boy? I don't know. I don't know. This is why I struggle to tell, and maybe this is why I'm getting hurt. It's like, when is a person genuinely trying to speak to you, like genuine about their intentions, and when is it just like someone's fucking with you? I don't know. Stick around and find out. Fuck around and find out. that's the. I think that's the conclusion I've come to thus far. If I fuck around and find out, I will tell you. Because sometimes people can genuinely like want to find out what's going on with you. Maybe this is just my pure naive heart speaking, and I cannot see. I can't see. I'm blind, blind, blind. Okay. Anyway, I love Scissor. So I ignored this message on the presumption that it was just a late night booty call. And that's not what I wanted in that moment. I just want to be a princess. I just want to be a princess. So I was listening to the advice that I had I was listening to the advice and trying to just stick to myself. Like I I'm trying to like retreat into myself, which maybe isn't that good. Sometimes the advice that I was taking in that moment was to not react, retreat within myself to see how, like, to listen to my inner guidance and just be silent and have some time to think how I want to approach the situation. Because I have this thing, like, in my perfectionism where I don't want to fuck up my interactions with people. And that usually is what delays my responses. That's why I'm really bad at messaging people sometimes. And then by the morning, like by midday, then when I went to respond the next day, he had deleted his message. And I was like, bro, I was literally going to respond to you if you'd just given me the time. But I wanted it to come from a centered place where I knew what I was saying and a calm vibe. And also that night I was with my friend and I was dedicating that time to her. So I didn't want my emotions, I didn't want my mind to be in a different place from her. Yeah, I just wanted to be present, fully present with her, because she was visiting me all the way from the UK. And a lot of her advice also was impacting me, where she was telling me how it's important not to get into this modern dating trap where accepting the best of the worst is good, right? So in my head, I was thinking, like, oh, this guy just wants to fuck. like conversation around her being there was like about decentering men, so I was very much on that vibe. I was like, yes, I don't need no man. I'm having a fun time with my bestie. But then she left, and my life like picked up because I was about to be traveling to Bali. I was rounding off, felt like a little bit of a had a little bit of a depressed day after she left because she'd been spending all her time with me, and then suddenly the person who had spent every single day with for the past 2 weeks was gone. So that felt like a mini breakup because I won't see her for a while. I won't see her for a month. And then I was simultaneously getting ready for this big trip to Bali with my friends. And I just didn't think about it until I got to Bali. I was really like exhausted from the lack of sleep, traveling, just rounding off my sorting out everything in Melbourne. That like I had a bit of a crash out, and these thoughts about him just flooded into my mind. Where I was like, you know what, I did want to see. Oh, and you know what didn't help? I had a therapy session. I told her about what happened, and she's like, "Well, did you want to respond to him?" And I was like, "Yes." And she's like, "Did you see his message?" And I was like, "Yes." She's like, "Well, why didn't you respond?" It's like in therapy, you will literally get told like the most straight up things, and they sound like the. And I'm like, why does this feel like a massive revelation? Like when someone spells things out for you so plainly, I don't know. I literally don't understand. Like it's so easy. I'm like, oh my gosh, it was so easy. Why was I acting in like all these complex? Why was I thinking all these complex things in my head? It was not that difficult, girl. Anyway, I think I still choose to trust that I acted in the right way for me at the time. Like, support your own decisions, you know? The past version of you knew what was best for them at that moment. Just because now, with the extra information, you would have acted differently. Like, is that really necessary to, like, condemn yourself for what you did? Because that person, the past version of you, was just trying to protect themselves and do what's best for them in that moment. And even if that's not correct right now, it is what has provided you this learning opportunity thus far. Anyway, so that got me thinking about him. And then when I was like really emotionally volatile, like when my emotions started getting really volatile, I started like deeping the situation and overthinking a lot more. And it like really depressed my mood because I felt stuck as in what I should do. Like I don't want to be running back to someone and sounding needy about seeing them, but because it's like it's chill. It's fine. If I never see him again, it's fine. I think what really caused the inner stress was that I didn't really express the fact that I wanted to see him. I was just kind of caught up in my own life. So maybe that's why it didn't work out. And I hate the idea of not having tried for something. And everyone was like, "Nah, bro, you can't. Don't be a beg. Don't message him back. Like, it's fine." But then this one conversation with my friend that I was talking about at the start of this video, she was like, "Well, it's clear that you're like feel a way about it, and you want to like speak to him. Why not just like stick to what's important to you, which is being open and honest, and just tell him, and then the ball's in his court. Acknowledge that you saw the text, and you can provide a little bit of clarity." That's something I've been trying, not to over explain myself too much to people. So because before, like, my messages were like paragraphs, not to guys but to my friends. I would i would over explain myself, really unnecessary. I think it's just like an anxious trait. And I crafted a message which I'm actually quite happy about, and I sent it to him. It fit all of the values that I have, and it felt scary and horrible because it feels like it's going against the modern like dating advice that's like, be detached, don't care, be mysterious, nonchalant. It's like, I'm too much. I'm a chalant girl. Okay. I just feel things deeply and sensitively, and I want to have clear and open, honest communication with people. I know I may not always provide that myself, but like, that's I'm. This is what I mean. Like right now, I'm taking the steps to do that, and I feel so much better. Like even if he, like, I really, this whole thing wasn't even about his response. It's about like doing what felt right for me, and I already feel like I've accomplished that. And then depending on how he responds, I can see if he would be the right person to speak to anyway. And like staying true to myself has put me in such a better vibe right now. Of course, I'm a little bit stressed to see what he says, but I feel like the hard part was this. It's like standing up for how I feel. It's like following through with how I feel. And sometimes it's so difficult. Like, I'm telling you, it's really easy for me to just sit and be like, yeah, guys, stick to your values, stick to what's correct for you. And I tell that to myself internally. But then when it comes to actually showing up for yourself, that's the hard bit. That's when you have to put in the practice. During the times when the times are really hard, that's like when you actually need to put in the work. That's when it matters the most. That's why when I was having my crash, I was like, okay, now's the time. When I was journaling, I kept seeing myself like in these negative thought patterns like pop up over and over again. And I did this exercise where I literally labeled them. Like once I was journaling and I saw myself starting to like have negative self-talk, I'd like write in the margin like negative self-talk, negative talk, just to bring my consciousness to the fact that I keep doing this. But sometimes having the awareness that you are doing something can be enough to help you stop doing it. Yeah, and when you bring your consciousness back to it, just remember to be nice to yourself. The true growth that you want to experience and like coming into the best version of you will be achieved. I deeply believe it will be achieved through love. Acting through hatred will just reinforce those negative thought patterns in your mind. And when it comes to the real test of when you have to like stick to what you need and want, hate will be hate is temporary. Like it will come back around like a boomerang to hit you. Like you think you're getting far and then the boomerang just swings back around, because the same way that you can convince yourself to work out because you hate how you look, in the end that negative self-talk is what's going to push you to lean back into the negative habits that you were trying to run away from so hard. Whereas when you're doing it from an act of self-love, you are more in touch with what your body needs. So you give yourself the adequate rest periods. Like we said, there's moments of stagnation, which you can then use as a springboard to get on to the next level and continue progressing. That's just the general message I wanted to spread for this video. I wish you all the best. Blessings from Bali, everyone. I love you.